So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Unacademy. Welcome to Creatrix. In these sessions, we are studying the communication systems. So before actually going into the lecture, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared ESC examination 2 times, both times in double-digit rank from Electronics and Telecommunication branch. Apart from that, I have also served as Group A Gastro Officer for Indian Railways and for Indian Telecommunication Services. From the past 6 years, I have been teaching to the GATE and ESC aspirants and specifically for EE and EC students. So right now I am teaching on Unacademy and I really feel proud to teach on Unacademy because it is a revolution which has been created in the domain of free education and in the affordable education. Education has never been so much of accessible for the students who are at the remote places, who are present at some their village. So Unacademy has made this reach to everyone so that everyone can access the quality education and they can pursue their dreams. So I really feel proud to be the part of this team and I really look forward for every student to be the part of the Unacademy in some way or the other. So right now as you can see that I am the top educator of Unacademy and more than 2 million people, more than 2 million watch minutes has been there from the past 30 days if you watch here. And right now my suggestion for every student will be that there are 2 modes in which you can prepare for a GATE examination or for ESC examination. One mode is that if you cannot afford the education, if you want to prepare it through the YouTube, then you should be very systematic in that and you should follow this channel immediately, because on this channel we are teaching from morning to evening. Every day live classes are going there and PDFs are also being shared. So you can just come on to these YouTube channels and you can start studying your preparation. So once you do the preparation from the YouTube, remember a lot of things that you have to do on yourself. For example, the doubt solvings you have to take care of yourself. For example, the question practice you have to take care of yourself, the test series you have to take care of yourself, and the discipline. The most important part is the discipline which you have to make, and you should make a habit of attending the classes live no matter what goes on. As you attend the offline class, in the same manner you should attend these YouTube classes so that you can get the best possible output from these classes. Apart from that, the complete lecture, the complete playlist of every subject is present on the same channel. You just have to go to the playlist and you will be getting all the lectures very systematically arranged, and that will be more than sufficient for you to crack the examination. But remember this thing, that on this you have to arrange the extra possible things that I have explained earlier. Apart from that, if you want the topic wise analysis of a subject, if you want any particular topic to study, not the complete subject, then you can go on to the Unacademy special classes. Lot of educators are there and they are actually providing a lot of free content there, so you can go and access all the content which is available here. Now if you want all these things in a very organized manner, if you want all these things in the guidance of the educator who is present there, if you want the doubt solving to be very smooth, if you do not want to take the extra headache apart from the studies, you just want to focus on the studies and rest of the things should be taken care by this Unacademy, then you should come on to this one of the most affordable subscriptions, which is known as Unacademy Plus subscription. What does it offer? The Unacademy Plus subscription offers you the daily live classes on the fixed timing, which means you just have to make a habit, you just have to be very disciplined to attend the classes, and once it is live, it is very easier to be in that habit, because you will be automatically reminded every time that you will be having the live class at a particular time. So very soon you will be making a habit of attending it in and out, which is most of the times not possible in YouTube, because we take it for granted, or we think that okay, we'll do it later on. Fine. Apart from that, apart from these live classes, you will be having the weekly test, which means whatever you have studied in a week, the test will be going on that particular topic. So you do not have to worry about your cross checking, or you do not have to worry about the retention of the subject, because every week there is a test, so you are bound to study for that. Apart from that, every fourth class is a doubt solving session. So every fourth class is the doubt solving session, which means that your doubt is going to be resolved in every possible time, every time. So you just have to come on to these doubt solving sessions, post your doubt, the teacher will be telling you how to crack that particular doubt. So very important, these doubt solving sessions. Remember, if you are comfortable in English language, there are English language courses. If you are comfortable in Hindi language, there are Hindi language courses. So both batches are already present there. Apart from that, if the subject or the course is completed, you are going to get a crash course. What does crash course means? Crash course means you will be given a very quick recap of all the concepts, all the formulas in the best possible manner. Fine. Apart from that, if you are already got the good rank, then there are some rank improvement batches. So all these things are included in the single subscription, in this revolutionary subscription. All these things are included. You do not have to pay any extra penny apart from this. In this subscription, the GATE, all the subjects of the GATE will be included, the ESC subjects will be included, technical, non-technical will be included, aptitudes will be included, whatnot. Everything is included in that. if you take this plus subscription. So you do not have to take headache about anything. You just have to come onto the Unacademy platform. Rest of the things will be taken care by us. Okay, fine. Apart from that, there is also another subscription which is known as Iconic. What does Iconic means? Iconic is the superset, or you can say the better version of this plus subscription, because Iconic offers you the personal coach or the mentor who will be along with you totally with the duration of your preparation. So this personal coach will be giving you the study plans, that how to study, how to actually be comfortable in the topics in which you are not comfortable in. Apart from that, he will be also giving you the personalized test analysis, which means once you attend the test, obviously you make a lot of mistakes in a test, and every time you cannot judge or you cannot review your test. So this personal coach will be reviewing your test completely. He will be giving you every input, that in which question did you do the silly mistake, in which question are you not comfortable with the concepts. So that analytics helps you to grow in a least possible time. So what may happen once you take this Iconic subscription? If you take this Iconic subscription immediately, what happens, that your growth becomes very fast, because these analytics, study booster sessions, these preparatory study materials, these will enhance you to grab the concept in the least possible time. So as we are teachers are present on the Unacademy, so we also get the analytics every time, so that we can improve our teaching. We also get the feedback that this has to be improved, this has to be improved. In the same manner, if anyone is getting regular analytics of their job or their preparation, so obviously they will be having a boost up, and they will also grow exponentially in order to get their dreams. So this Iconic subscription is made especially for them who thinks that their background is not very good in terms of education, or their basics are not clear, or maybe you think that you are talented enough, but you need constant push, you need constant analytics, and you do not have that kind of motivation. So you can come and take this Iconic subscription. So either you come on to the plus or you come on to the Iconic. If you take Iconic, all these subscriptions, all these advantages of plus are included in that. So remember this very important point. Fine. Now, so let us start the session.
Hello friends, welcome to this lecture of communication system. So in the last lectures, we studied about basics of probability, and in this lecture, we would like to start the discussion about random variables, and in the later on lectures, we will discuss about random processes. So this lecture is mainly focuses on this random variable topic. So before actually understanding the random variable, let us understand what is a function. So we know that a function is nothing but a dependent variable which depends on one or more independent variables. So you can see two basic terms. One is dependent variable and another one is independent variable. So a function is nothing but a dependent variable which depends on one or more independent variables. For example, if I am writing a function fx is equal to x square plus 2. So you can see here that the term x represents the independent variable, and the function fx itself will be the dependent variable. Or I can write f of x comma t is equal to x square plus t square. Here we have two independent variables x and t, and as the values of x and t changes, the value of f of x comma t changes, or we can say that it is a dependent variable. So this function is itself is a dependent variable which is depending on two independent variables x and t. Similarly, this function f of x is itself is a random variable which is depending on an independent variable x. So clearly we can see from here that as the value of independent variable changes, the values of the dependent variable will be changing. Another example, we can see that f of x is equal to sin x. Here also we can see that as the value of this dependent variable x changes, the function, which is nothing but the dependent variable, will change. So the bottom line is that a function is nothing but a dependent variable which depends on one or more independent variable, and as the value of independent variable changes, the values of the function will also be changed. Now, what is the domain of a function? So suppose if a function is written as f of x, so the values taken by x is known as domain of function, and the values taken by the function itself, that is f of x, is known as range of the function. For example, I am writing a function f of x is equal to sine x. So what is the domain of this function? We know that domain is nothing but the values taken by the x. So in case of sine x, the x can take values from minus infinite to infinite, or it will represent the domain of the function. Now, whatever be the value of x, we know that the sine x or the function can take values only between -1 to 1, so it represents the range of the function. So the domain represents the values taken by the independent variable, and the range represents the values taken by the function itself. Now, till now we have understood the definition of the function and some basics about the domain and the range. So let me explain about the mapping which a function performs. So suppose we have a function f of x equal to x square plus 2, and we have already stated as the values of x changes, this f of x will change. So let me make a table. I'm writing x here and f of x here. If I'll put the value of x as 1, the f of x will become 3. If I will put the value of x as 2, it will become 7. If I will put the value of x as 3, it will become 11, and if I will put the value of x as 4, so it becomes 18. So I put some values of x, based upon that we have calculated the values of fx. So now you can clearly notice here that if I represent two sets, in one set I am writing the values of x, and in other set I am writing the values of f of x or the values of the function. Now we know that the function is x square plus 2. So from here on you can develop alternate definition of a function, that function performs mapping between two sets based upon some prior definition. So in set 1 I have put the values of x, in set 2 I have put the values of f of x. Now whenever the value of x is 1, the f of x value comes out to be 3, or I can say that it is mapping this value of 1 to 3, or it is mapping the value of 2 from set 1 to the 7 in the set 2. It is mapping 3 to 11, and it is mapping 4 to 18. So the alternate definition of the function can be that it performs mapping between one set to another set, and in this the first set always represents the domain and the second set always represents the range. So you can say that a function performs mapping between domain and range. Let me give you another example. Of a function. This is your f of x and this is sine x. So first of all let me make the table. Here it is x, here your function sine x. Suppose the value of x is pi, so this will be 0. The value of x is pi by 2, so it becomes 1. The value of x is 3 pi by 2, so it becomes -1. The value of x is pi by 6, so it becomes half. So I have taken few values from here. So this is your set 1, this is your set 2. In set 1 I am taking the values of domain or the values of x, while in set 2 I am choosing some values from the range. We know that the range of sin x is from -1 to 1, so I am choosing some values such as 0, 1, -1 and half. So our function is sin x. This function will perform the mapping between these two sets. So whenever the value of x is pi, it will map it to 0. Whenever the value of x is pi by 2, it will map it to 1. Whenever the value of x is 3 by pi 2, it will map it to -1. Whenever the value of x is pi by 6, it will map it to 1 by 2. So this is the very basic definition. So till now we have discussed two definition of function. One definition is that it is a dependent variable which depends on one or more independent variable, and the independent variable takes some values which is known as domain, and the dependent variable takes values which is known as range. Alternate definition of the function can be that it performs mapping between two sets, and in general the first set is domain and the second set is range. So the first set can be called as domain and the second set is in general can be called as range. Let me connect this definition of function with the terms we studied in the probability. In the probability we studied few basic terms such as random experiment, sample space, event, sample point and so on. So first of all let me perform a random experiment. So I am performing a random experiment, and in this random experiment I am tossing two coins simultaneously. So two coins are tossed simultaneously. Okay, we know that how to form the sample space. So in sample space it will have two tails, one tail head, head tail, or head head. So this is our sample space. We know that sample space can be represented as lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 and lambda 4, where lambda is known as sample point. So we can also represent this set in Venn diagram form. So this is your set and these are the sample points or the outcome of the experiment. So this is tail head, head tail, head head. So I'm denoting this set as set 1. Now I'm generalizing the second set and this set represents the real line. So till now we have two different sets. One set has outcomes of a random experiment, or this set contains sample points of a random experiment, and second set which I am choosing is representing a real line. Now we know that if we have to perform the mapping between these two sets, then obviously we will be needing a function. So to map the set 1 and set 2 we need a function. So I'm giving you the function. This is the function which performs mapping between sample space and real line. So I'm denoting it as a function. You can clearly understand that here the lambda represents the sample point. So what this function will do, this function will take this sample points lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 and lambda 4 as input, and it will map it to the real line. But as we have already seen that the function has some definitions such as x square plus 2, fx is equal to sin x. So based upon this definition the function performs mapping between two sets. Here we are representing this x of lambda, and x of lambda represents a function, but it should also have some definition. So I'm giving the definition to this function that x of lambda represents number of heads in a sample point or outcome. This is the representation of function f of x, and f of x is equal to x square plus 2 represents the definition. Similarly, here also you can see this f of x represents the function and fx is equal to sin x represents the definition of the function. Similarly, here also we have performed a random experiment and we have formed two sets. One set contains the sample space and another set is real line. Now we want to perform the mapping between these two sets, and to perform the mapping we need a function, and the function is defined as x of lambda, which means it performs mapping between sample space and real line, and this x of lambda represents a function, so it should also have some prior definition. So that definition we have denoted here, that x of lambda represents the number of hits in a sample point or in a outcome. So now let us perform the mapping. So I'll start my mapping from here. This is our sample point x of lambda 1. How many heads are in there? It contains only two tails. It does not have any head. So this function x of lambda will take lambda 1 as input and it will map it to the 0 on the real line. Similarly, whenever this sample point is to be mapped on the real line, so it will check its definition. The definition is that number of heads in a sample point has to be mapped. So the number of heads here is 1. So this function map this x of lambda to 1. Similarly, in this sample point number of heads is 1. So it will again map it to the 1. And how many number of heads in this particular sample point? So in this particular sample point number of heads is 2. So whenever it maps x of lambda 4, it will always map it to 2. So this is the function x of lambda, which is choosing sample points and it is mapping it to the real line based upon some prior definition which we have denoted here. So now from here onwards you should develop a basic understanding that we have performed a random experiment, and here this term random is very important. So you have performed a random experiment and the sample space of random experiment has to be mapped on the real line based upon some function, and this particular function from now onwards will be known as a random function. The term random comes because it is mapping the outcome of a random experiment or the sample space of a random experiment to the real line. So this type of function is known as random function. Sometimes this random function is also called as stochastic function, or sometimes it is also known as a random variable. So if someone asks you, tell me the definition of a random variable, so the definition should start from here, that random variable is nothing but a function and it performs mapping between two sets, out of which one set is sample space of random experiment and another set is real line. So in case of random variables, these two sets are always fixed. One set always be sample space of random experiment and another set will always be real line. And the function of this random variable is to perform mapping between this sample space and real line, or it will map the sample point to the real line, and to map the sample point on the real line it will always use some prior definition. So I hope I have connected a link between function and random variable. So from now onwards you should take care while defining a random variable. In random variables, basically you have two types of random variables. One is real random variable and another one is complex random variables. Real random variable is denoted as x of lambda. This is the representation of random variable, and where lambda represents the sample point. And in different questions we will have different definitions of this x of lambda. This complex random variable is represented as x of lambda plus j times y of lambda. So these are the representation of complex random variable. This is representation of complex random variable. So we will discuss more about this real random variable. After that, we will see some basic about this complex random variables. So first of all, we would like to start the real random variable. So what is the real random variable? So you have already understood that random variable is a function which performs mapping between two sets, out of which one set is sample space of a random experiment and another set is the real line. So let me state the definition of a real random variable in a more proper manner. So if I have to write the definition of a real random variable, so a real random variable is a single valued real function which assigns a real number to the sample point of sample space formed by random experiment. So you should be able to connect with this definition that what is a random variable? Random variable is a function. We are reading about real random variable, so it is a single valued real function, and the purpose of this random variable is to assign a real number to the sample points of a sample space, and this sample space should be formed by a random experiment. Another alternate definition, we can say that real random variable is single valued real function which performs mapping between two sets, out of which one set is sample space of random experiment and another set is real line. Now one thing which we should note here, that the assignment of real number is based upon the definition of the function. This x of lambda is representation of random variable, or in general I can say it is a representation of real random variable. What does lambda represents here? Lambda represents the sample point. So there can be some definitions such as x of lambda represents number of heads in each outcome, or number of tails in each outcome, and so on. So depending upon the experiment, we can have infinite number of definitions. Based upon that, we can perform the mapping. So I am writing here two examples of the definition based upon the experiment in which two coins are tossed simultaneously. So there can be different experiments, and based upon the different experiments we can form the definition of our random variable. So you should notice the difference between the terms. First term represents the representation of random variable, and whenever I have to perform the mapping, first of all I have to define my function, and the definition of the function can vary depending upon the different cases. Now pictorially, if I want to represent my random variable, so pictorially it can be, this is your first set. Since it is a sample space, so it will contain sample points. So I'm showing some sample points here. Now this function, which is x of lambda, will map all these sample points onto the real line, and this is your x of lambda 1, x of lambda 2, x of lambda 3, and x of lambda 4. So this is the pictorial representation of the mapping between two sets, out of which one set is sample space and another set is real line. Now let us define the domain and range of the random variable. So first of all, the representation of random variable is x of lambda. So I am interested in the domain of the function x of lambda. So we know that the values taken by lambda is nothing but the domain, or I can say that the sample points represents the domain of random variable. Now what will be the range of the function x of lambda? So we know that the values taken by x of lambda represents the range, and the values taken by x of lambda is the values on the real line. So we can say that the range of the random variable basically represents some subset of real line, because whatever the values which a random variable will take will always be mapped onto the real line, so it always represents the subset of real line. So from here you can say that if this is your set 1, which contains sample points, and this function x of lambda, based upon some prior definition, maps this sample point onto the real line. So this x of lambda will always be a real number. This x of lambda 2 will also be a real number. This x of lambda 3 will also be a real number, and so on. X of lambda 4 will also be a real number. So you can see here that this lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, lambda 4 are individual sample points, and whenever we are mapping these sample points on the real line with the help of a random variable, then the values which is taken by the random variable is nothing but a real number. So we can say that the range is nothing but subset of real line. So the sample point represents the domain. So in general I can say that whenever I have a random variable, so the random variable will have domain as sample point and range as real values on real line. So from here you can also say that the random variable always takes a real value. So the random variable always takes a real value. So we have discussed the domain and range of the function, and in this case the function is random in nature, or we can say that this random function can also be called as a random variable. Now let us see how many types of mappings are present in case of random variable. So we know that in case of random variables we will have two sets. In one set we will have sample space, and in other set we will have a real line, and sample space is formed with sample points, and based upon the definition of this random variable we will map these sample points onto the real line. So now let us try to see how many types of mappings are present. So we will see it by an example. So let us see this example. In this example it is saying that two coins are tossed simultaneously. Now the next line is important. It is defining the random variable's definition. It is saying the number of heads are assumed as random variables. So in all the questions you need to look the definition of the random variable, and it is saying to perform the mapping. So in this question it is saying that two coins are tossed simultaneously. If number of heads are assumed to be random variable, we have to perform the mapping. So first of all we will try to write the random experiment. So the random experiment, it is saying that two coins are tossed simultaneously. This is the random experiment, and it has defined the random variable, and it is saying us to perform the mapping. So we know that random variable performs mapping between sample space and real line. So first of all we need to form the sample space of this particular random experiment. So the sample space will be tail tail, tail head, head tail, and head head. Now this is our first set. Now let us try to identify the random variable. So this is the representation of random variable. Now what is the definition of this random variable? So the definition of this random variable in this particular question, it is given that we have to assume number of heads as random variable. So this is the definition of the random variable which has been provided in this particular question. So let us perform the mapping. Now if I will denote it as lambda 1, this as to lambda 2, this is lambda 3, this is lambda 4. So this is your function. This function will map lambda 1 to x of lambda 1, lambda 2 to x of lambda 2, this to be x of lambda 3, and this to be x of lambda 4. Now what will be the value of x of lambda 1? In x of lambda 1 we have to find number of heads. So it has 0 number of heads, so here it will map it to 0. In this particular sample point it has 1 head, so it will map x of lambda 2 to 1. Similarly it will map x of lambda 3 to 1, and in case of lambda 4 it has 2 heads, so it will map it to 2. So this is your values of random variable. Now if I have to show it pictorially, so this is your set 1 and it represents the sample space. So it contains 4 sample points, head, tail, head and head, and the second set is always a real line. So it will map this tail to 0, this tail head and head tail to 1, and this head head to 2. Now if someone asks me what is the domain of this random variable, so the domain will be lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, lambda 4. And what is the range? So range is also some discrete points, that is 0, 1 and 2. This curly bracket represents the discrete point. Now let us have a look on the nature of the mapping. So if you will look closely, the nature of the mapping is many to 1. Here two different sample points are being mapped to the same value on the real line. So I can say that the nature of the mapping is many to 1 in this particular case, and the random variable performs mapping of a many to one nature in this particular case. So we can see that two different sample points can be mapped to single value on real line, or many to one mapping is possible in case of random variable. Now let us try to see the next example. So in this example, first of all we will read out the question and then we will try to find out the different terms. So it is saying that an experiment is performed in which a coin is tossed repeatedly till head is observed for the first time. If number of times coin tossed is considered as random variable, form the sample space and perform the mapping. So first of all we have to identify what is the random experiment. In this experiment, it is tossing a coin repeatedly till head is observed for the first time. So first of all we have identified our random experiment. This is our random experiment. Now to perform the mapping we need a function, and this function is nothing but random variable. So random variable performs mapping between sample space and real line. So first of all we need to identify how the random variable is being defined. So this x of lambda is representation of random variable. Now we have to find out the definition of random variable or this function x of lambda. So in this particular question it is saying that the number of times coin tossed is considered as a random variable. So the definition of the random variable changes question by question. So in the last question it has defined as the number of heads. In this particular question it is saying that number of times coin tossed is random variable. So the definition is that the number of times coin tossed will always represent the random variable. Now the random experiment we have already identified. Now let us try to make the sample space. So in this particular sample space we need to toss a coin till head is observed for the first time. So maybe whenever we will toss the coin first time, the very first time we can observe the head, or the second combination can be first time it can be tail, then it can be head. Now the next combination may be tail head, or tail head. So based upon that we can form the sample space. So in all these sample spaces we have to toss our coin till head is observed for the first time. So in the first sample point, whenever the coin is tossed for the first time, the head is observed. In this particular case coin is tossed for the second time. In this particular case the coin is tossed 3 times, and so on. So this can represent our lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, lambda 4, lambda 5, and so on. Now what a random variable will do? It will map all these lambda 1, lambda 2s, lambda 3s to x of lambda 1, lambda 2, and lambda 3. So this will be the mapping. Now what is the definition of the random variable? Now the definition of the random variable represents number of times coin is tossed. So in first case the number of times coin tossed is 1. In second case the coin has been tossed 2 times, so it will map it to 2. In third case it has been mapped to 3. In fourth case the coin has been tossed 4 times, so it will map to 4, 5, and so on. If I have to show it pictorially, so I will form a set in which I will write the sample space and each sample point. So first sample point is head, second one is tail head, third one is tail head, fourth one is tail head, and so on. So it contains infinite number of sample points. This is our set 2, which is real line. Now this random variable will perform the mapping from set 1 to set 2, and the definition it has in this case is the number of times coin is tossed. So in this case the coin is tossed once, so it will map it to 1. In this case coin is tossed twice, so it will map it to 2, it will map it to 3, it will map it to 4, and so on. So in this case, can you tell me the nature of the mapping? In this particular case, each sample point is mapped to a unique value on the real line, or the nature of mapping, I can say it one-to-one mapping. So in this particular case, each sample point uniquely maps itself onto the real line. So the nature of the mapping is one-to-one mapping. So we can conclude that the random variables performs either many to one mapping between S1 and S2, where S1 is sample space and S2 is real line, or one-to-one mapping between S1 and S2. Now it cannot perform the mapping which is one to many. So let us see the examples of one to many. So in case of random variable, this type of mapping, that we have two sample points, lambda 2, lambda 3, lambda 4. This is our sample space, or this represent our set, and this is set 2, which is nothing but a real line. So this type of mapping cannot be performed in random experiment, that a particular sample point is being mapped onto two different points on the real line. So this represents the mapping which is one to many type of mapping, and this type of mapping is not possible in case of random variable, which means a single sample points cannot be mapped to two different points on the real line, or a single sample point cannot take two different real values after being mapped. So this type of mapping is avoided, or this type of mapping is not possible in case of random variables. Now this is also very important discussion, in which we have to form the set by using random variables. So now for further discussions, instead of writing x of lambda every time, we will replace this x of lambda with x, and till now we have understood that this x will map the sample point to the real line. So every time writing x of lambda is very tedious task, so we just replace this x of lambda with x, and in our mind we will always consider this x as a function of lambda. Now to represent random variable onwards, instead of x of lambda we will use the symbol x. Now we have to understand few basic definitions, and based upon that we will try to develop few concepts. For example, if I am writing x is less than or equal to a, so what does it represents? And remember that this x is now random variable. So what does it represent? It represents the set in which all the sample points are present for which x of lambda is less than or equal to a. So this we can already say just by seeing it here, that it is representing the set in which all the sample points, so here you have to notice that it is representing about the sample points for which x of lambda is less than or equal to a. Similarly, if I will put probability here, what does it represent? it represents probability such that all the sample points satisfy x of lambda less than or equal to a. So here also you should notice the keyword this sample point. Similarly, there can be different combinations. So let me make one more combination. This x is equal to a. What does it represent? It represents the set in which all the sample points are present for which x of lambda equal to a, and probability of x equal to a represents the probability such that all the sample points satisfy x of lambda equal to a. So this you can understand it by an example. Suppose I am taking a random experiment in this particular random experiment. Two coins are being tossed simultaneously. So the sample space will be tail tail, tail head, head tail, and head head. Now this x of lambda represents the random variable, and the definition is number of heads in each outcome. So this x will be 0, 1, 1, 2. Now let us try to understand the set formation or the event formation in random variable. Suppose if it is written that x is less than or equal to 1.5. So what we need to understand that it represents the set of all the possible sample points. You can see here it represents all the possible sample points for which x is less than or equal to a. So let me write here all the sample points for which x is less than or equal to 5. So for this particular sample point x is 0, for this particular sample point x is 1, for this particular sample point x is 1, and for this particular sample point x is 2. So x less than or equal to 1.5 represents the sample points tail tail, tail head, and head tail. Now if I have to calculate the probability that x is less than or equal to 5, so we know that the probability represents number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. So for probability of x less than or equal to 5, we will have 3 favorable outcomes, out of which it has total 4 possible outcomes. So this probability will become 3 by 4 or 0.75. Similarly, we can make this particular set. It is representing that we have to choose all the sample points for which x is equal to 1. So it has only two sample points, tail head and head tail for which the value of x is 1. And if I have to calculate the probability, then to calculate the probability we should choose the total outcomes and favorable outcomes. So here the favorable outcomes are 2 in number and total outcomes are 4 in number, so the probability becomes 0.5. Similarly, if we have to calculate the sample points x less than 5, so for x less than 5, all the sample points will come under this category: tail, head tail, head. And if I have to calculate the probability, then it has 4 favorable outcomes and total number of outcomes is also 4, so the probability becomes 4 by 4 or 1. Next case can be x less than minus 5. So if I have to choose the sample points which are less than minus 5, so there are no such sample point which is less than minus 5, so it comes out to be null set, and the probability of null set is always equal to 0. So based upon this, you can calculate all the probabilities. Similarly, if I have to calculate x less than infinite, so x less than infinite will obviously contain all the sample points, and probability of x less than infinite becomes probability of sample space, or it is always equal to 1. Or we have to calculate x less than minus infinite, so no such sample point can be there for which x is less than minus infinite, so it will always be 5, and the probability of x less than minus infinite will always be 0. So in this particular discussion we understood how to form the sample space and how to write the random variable, and after that, based upon different combination and different conditions, how to form the set and how to write the elements in that and how to calculate the probability. So I hope this point is clear till now. So in the next lecture we will discuss some mathematical tools to understand more about this random variable. So thank you.
So hope you enjoyed the lecture and you understood all the things which I have taught. So if you have any doubt, you can leave it on the comment section. I'll be surely replying all the comments which is there. Now let us try to understand what are the subscription and what are the prices that using which we can come on to the Unacademy. So there is Plus subscription. So this complete information is about the Plus subscription. So if you want to come on to the Unacademy Plus, there are 3 best subscriptions which is available for you. This subscription is costing you 12 months, which is costing you around 27,225, but you just have to pay 74 rupees per day, which is very much less than the cost that you spend on your daily expenses. So if you can spend only 74 rupees per day, you will be getting a very quality subscription. Apart from that, if you come for the 18-month subscription, this will cost you around 62 rupees per day, as low as 60 rupees per day. And for the 24-month subscription, this is costing you 54 rupees per day. So this much of subscriptions will give you a very quality guidance. What will you get in this? You will get the GATE complete subject, you will get the ESE complete subject, you will get the ESE non-technical subject, you will get the aptitude, you will get the GS part. Anything extra which is included in the syllabus, that will also be given you free of cost. You will be giving the test series, you will be getting live classes and recorded classes till the time you are having the subscription. Apart from that, you will be also having the doubt solving sessions. Apart from doubt solving sessions, you will be also having extra doubt solving sessions which is not the part of the course. So there are also extra doubt solving sessions, which means this particular subscription, if you can spend 54 rupees per day, then you can avail all these subscriptions throughout the period of the 2 year without any interruption. You just need an internet connection, a laptop, and you can sit in your town, in your village, in your maybe city, and just start accessing the courses. And only hard work is needed from your end, only systematic work is needed from your end. Rest of the things will be taken care by the Unacademy. So if you can spend as much as low 62 rupees, 54 rupees, or the 74 rupees per day, then you can take this subscription and you can start accessing these courses in a very systematic manner, and one of the methods in one of the possible methods which has never been done before. So you can take the subscription, any of these possible subscriptions. Apart from that, whenever you take the subscription, the most important part of taking the subscription is that you should use this particular code. So you have to write my name Vishal and attach GATE to it. Otherwise, you can write my name and attach ESE to it. So whatever exam you are preparing, so either you would have been preparing for ESE or GATE, you just have to write my name and attach GATE or ESE to it. Fine. So what this subscription will offer you, this particular code will give you 10% immediately discount. So 10% discount will be given to you. Apart from that, you will be unlocking all the features of the Unacademy, and once you use this particular code, you come directly under the guidance of the teacher which is present on the Unacademy. So all the teachers will be guiding you, whatever maybe the teacher, he will be guiding you once you use this particular code, and you will also be under my supervision while preparing for the examination. So that will also boost your confidence, and that in that way you will be having a better confidence to attempt the examination. Fine. So every time you use this particular code, you actually also support my team to get you the more content, to get you the better content, and apart from that, we also get motivated when someone uses our code. So a lot of students have used this particular code. You can also use this code and get the benefit of the Unacademy, which is present there only for you. Fine. Now this information is about the Iconic. So if you come on to the Iconic subscription, if you want to take the advantages of the personal coach, if you want to take the analytics of your preparation so that you can grow very fast, in that particular case you should come on to the Unacademy Plus by using this code. So this particular Iconic 12-month subscription will cost you 40,500, and this subscription will cost you 54,000 for 24 months. So obviously this is a game changer. This is one of the most revolutionary subscription which has ever been done in this particular domain. So if you come for this, you have to pay a little bit extra, but that also ensures the speedy growth of your preparation. That also ensures that you will be getting your success in a least possible time, provided you give your effort in the best possible manner. Fine. Now, even if you take the Iconic, do not forget to use this code. Write my name, Vishal GATE. So everyone just have to remember this code. Either you take the subscription or anyone else take the subscription. You just have to propagate this code. If you like my teaching, if you think that we are working day and night, so at least this much you can do, that you can tell others that this type of code exists, and this will give them the benefit at least, so that they can be benefited at the end of the day. Fine. Now these are my Telegram channels. This is my Telegram channel which you should join. So you should take the screenshot of this page. This is my Telegram group where you can join and you can comment also. In this channel you cannot comment, but there you can comment. And this is my Unacademy profile. So kindly take the screenshot of this particular page and start following me everywhere which is present there. Now these are some YouTube videos which I have made for you. So you can also take the screenshot of this thing. And these videos I have made specifically for you guys on this YouTube channel only. Fine. So you can start following all this. So I have taken one of the best possible videos. You can just go and watch these videos. You will be getting benefited in the best possible manner. Now, okay, very important information, that this is the URL. So you just have to copy this URL to your browser, whether you are using Chrome, Safari, whatever. Just copy this URL in your browser. You will be taken to a page where all the special classes of are conducted by me are arranged in a very systematic manner. So you can attend all the special classes in a very systematic manner. Apart from that, this is also one of the revolutionary URL. This URL will also give you the access to all the YouTube lectures arranged in a very systematic manner with PDFs. Okay, so this is something which also has not been done before. So if you write it bit.ly, remember this GATE Live is in capital letters. So you just have to paste it in your URL, so that you will be redirected to a page where all the YouTube lectures which is present on this channel are arranged systematically with their PDFs. So this also has to be taken screenshot. Apart from that, everyone has to join this GATE aspirant group. These are some YouTube channels which every one of you should follow. This Electrical Junction, because there are a lot of common subjects are also there uploaded. This Engineering Pathshala, and this Unacademy GATE question, where previous year questions are being uploaded. And this is the main channel on which you are right now studying. So all these channels has to be subscribed without fail by everyone, and you should also share all these channels, that everyone has to subscribe all the channels. So this is it in this session. Let us meet in the next session, and let us start making a habit that we should attend all the classes, and we should be having a very disciplined, and let's crack it.